All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support, and thank you for joining us here on the live stream. If this is your first time watching, make sure you say hi and let us know where you're from in the chat. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. For those of you guys who are regular viewers, thanks again for coming and hanging out with us. Today we are going to be talking about creating a custom card template. But one of the things I wanted to talk about before we jumped into that was the 2017 holiday shipping deadlines. So I do have the blog pulled up here for you guys, and I'm going to throw this blog post link into the chat so you guys have it. And for those of you guys watching the recorded version of this, that blog post link is also in the description of the video below. Make sure you check it out. It's going to let you know when orders need to be approved by so they can make it there by Christmas. And guys, you are really getting close to that threshold. So if I scroll down, actually, you can see for some of the labs already, it's either today or tomorrow. So arriving by here, these orders need to be approved. If they're going to be shipped standard, these orders need to be approved by December 8th here. So that's the deadline here. So that's tomorrow, guys. Orders need to be approved by December 8th if they're going to make it there on the 25th. Now, the blog post link that I threw out there will definitely have more details, so I definitely suggest going over that and making sure that you read that and you understand when these orders need to be approved by the different labs and things like that. Now, the other thing I want to say really quick is all the month of December, we are doing double referral credits. So I did this in October, and we're doing it again in December. That's where you get your referral code, and if you have some friends who are interested in Zenfolio or looking for a service for the photography business, you can use your referral code, and instead of a 10% credit and a 10% discount, you get a 20% credit, and your friends get a 20% discount. So if you're not sure where that's at, you can go find that in your account. Let me show you really quick. So if you go from your dashboard, just go to Settings right here. And then over on the left here, it's going to say Refer Friends right here. And this is where you're going to get your referral credits to dish out to your friends to get that double referral credit. And then also your friends will get that double discount on the first year with Zenfolio. All right, guys, so today we're going to be talking about creating a custom card template and uploading it into Zenfolio to use for, New Year's cards or things like that. So let me go ahead and jump into that topic and show you guys how to do that. So from your dashboard, we're going to go to Selling, and then we're going to click on Template Designs down here in the bottom left corner. Now, I'm actually going to do this before I start creating the card template in Photoshop because we need to get some specific information on this size our template needs to be. So what we're going to do is go to Create New. And then that's going to give us the option here to choose from all these different designs. Now you can sort it by vendor and by product. So let's go with MPix, and we'll go with folded greeting cards. Now you can see there's two different types here. I'm going to go with this 5x7, and I'm going to do mine at a landscape orientation. So I'm going to click Landscape Orientation. And then basically what I want to do is I want to upload a background design for this card. So I'm going to click Upload Background Design, even though I don't have it ready yet. And the reason is because it's going to tell me the specific size that this background design needs to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up Photoshop, and I'm going to go, and I've got it over here on the right. I'm going to click Create New. And that's going to give me this little window right here in Photoshop that I can go and actually put these numbers in. So I'm going to give this a title and just say New Year's card. And then I'm going to put these specific dimensions here into this new Photoshop section here so I can make sure that I make it the right size. So for the width, it needs to be 2175, which I've already got in there. And then the pixels need to be 1575, which I've already got in here as well. And then the DPI needs to be 300, so I'm 300 right here. And we're just going to click OK. So now let me pull my Photoshop window over here so you guys can see what I have. And then let me just go ahead and start on this card here. So the first thing I want to do is change this background color up a little bit. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Let me resize this window so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm going to go down to the bottom here and click on this layer right here and do a new solid color layer. And I'm going to make this, I don't want it to be black, so I'm going to make it kind of not all the way gray to match my background, but a little bit grayish right here like this. So now the next thing I want to do is kind of get my layout set up here. So what I'm going to do is use a guide layout. So I'm going to go up to View, and I'm going to do New Guide Layout in Photoshop. Now this is going to give me one that I was working with earlier, but let me just start over so I can show you guys kind of what I'm thinking here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to kind of give a margin or a bleed area. So what I did was I selected the margin section right here and set it to be 75 pixels all the way around. So that gives me a 75 pixel all the way around bleed area, and I want to make sure that all of my images, any text that I use, and all that's going to be inside of this area. Now, next, to set the layout of the card, I'm going to give it some columns. So I'm going to do this in thirds. I want 1/3 of the card for text, and then 2/3 of the card for images. So I'm going to go here to columns, and I'm going to set up 3 columns. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm not going to put something in the width area because I want it to be naturally divided up, but I am going to set the gutter, which is the area between the columns, to be 75 pixels to match that margin or bleed area that I've already got set up. So now that gives me these 3 sections to work with. So this section is going to be text, and then this section over here is going to be images. So what I want to do in the section for images is I actually want to create a couple of different spaces so I can have multiple images in this card if I want. So that's where I'm going to go over here and set up rows. So I'm going to go over here to the rows section right here, turn that on, and I just want to have basically 1 image up here and then 2 down here below. Or you could have 2 up here and 1 below if you want. So again, I set 2 rows, and I made sure that my gutter was 75 pixels just to match the margin and the bleed area. So once I've got that set up, I'm going to click OK. And now the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to be exporting this as a transparent PNG. So what I want to do is I want to block out the areas that are for my images and make them transparent. So I'm going to go and select my selection tool over here in the top right, and I'm going to first, using the guide, select this area right here. Now I'm going to hold Command or Control on my keyboard. Actually, I think it's Shift. Sorry, so I'm going to hold Shift on my keyboard, and that's going to let me select some more areas. So now I'm going to come down here and select this square area right here, and then I'm going to select this square area right here. And what I want to do here is I want to basically remove the color in this area. So I am going to use this layer mask right here and just mask this out. So I'm going to go over and get my brush tool, make sure that it's set to black, and then make sure that the opacity is set to 100, and I can use this to kind of just mask this area out for image placeholder space. So I'm going to mask this out. So now that's created my image placeholder. So now the last thing that I need to do is just add my text area. So I'm going to click on my text tool. I'm going to come over here and just select this area that I've set up for text. Drag that there, and then I'm just going to write some really simple text. So I'm just going to write Happy New Year right here. And then I'm going to resize this to center this up a little bit on the card area. So I'm going to take this right here and just drag it down and put that New Year right in that center gutter line. So right about there. Now obviously you guys can do a much better job than I am. This is just a really quick example to show you how to create a quick background design in Photoshop. There's still a few more steps that we need to do before this is ready to actually upload as a background design. So now what I want to do is click off of my text tool, and then I'm going to hide this guide just so I can take a look and see how everything is looking. So on a Mac, that's Command H. I think on a PC it's Control H, and that hides the guides. Now you can see this really terrible template that I've designed to upload as a background design. So one thing I want to look at here is this text right here. Doesn't look very centered, so let me take a look at that really quick. Make sure that it's set to be centered. Alright, so that's set to be centered, so that should be fine. Now the next thing we want to do is we're going to export this as a transparent PNG file. So to do that, we want to make sure that we turn off our background layer right here, so we see these little squares, because we want this to be transparent, because we're going to actually put some images behind this. So what I'm going to do now is just go up to File and then Export. And then depending on what version of Photoshop you have, it will either be the quick export as a PNG, or you might see something that says Save for Web Legacy. The quick export as a PNG is pretty simple. You just go through and click Save, and it saves it as a transparent PNG file. So I'm going to show you the Save for Web Legacy option here. So for the Save for Web Legacy option, you want to make sure that in the preset section here you have a PNG selected, 24. Make sure you've got PNG 24 selected here. And then the most important thing is right here, make sure that this transparency box is selected. So you want to make sure that that box is selected. That's what's going to give you that transparency in it, making sure that these are clear, because if you unselect this, it's going to flatten this out and it's going to have white there. So you need to make sure that you check that transparency option. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to save this. So we're going to go down here and click Save. And we're going to choose where this is going to be saved. So this is going to be saved here as New Year card. And I've already tried this out once, so I'm just going to save this again really quick as New Year card 1. And click Save. So now we've got that saved out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to minimize Photoshop. I'm not going to close it. You might want to save this project file. So if you want to save it as a PSD file, you come up here, go to Save As, and then use the PSG option and just save it. That way, if for some reason your computer does something funny and Photoshop closes, you don't have to completely remake this. If you need to make some tweaks or fine-tune it or something like that, you have the PSD file saved, and you can easily go back and re-access it and change whatever you need to change. So now what I'm going to do is just minimize Photoshop right here. Now we're back in Zenfolio, and we're going to upload this background design. So I've got that Upload Background Design window still open. I'm going to go choose File. And there's that New Year Card 1 PNG. I'm going to click that, hit Open, and click Upload. So now it's going to upload this, and the really cool thing that you're going to see is once this background design is uploaded into Zenfolio, it's actually going to place photo placeholders right in the areas where you want them to be. So it's going to get them really, really close, as you can see. Now, I do like to go in and fine-tune this and change some of my layout area a little bit, but it gets it really close to where they need to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is come down here, and I'm going to set my background design to be actually up on top, because I want those photos to be underneath the background design. So I've got the background design up top. Now I'm just going to go in here and make sure that this is fine-tuned to where I want it to be. So I'm going to drag this out a little bit. Here, I'm just going to drag this down so that the edges of it are covered by that template. I'm going to drag this over here, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here as well. So now I'm going to take this and just make sure that it's dragged over, and that the edges of the photos are all covered by the template. Drag this one up just a little bit. Same thing over here. We're going to just drag this up a little bit, just where I see those edges. Drag this one over. Drag this one over here. And we're going to drag this one down. Alright, so now I've got my photo placeholders in place. If you wanted to add maybe some text for the year, you could add a text placeholder here if you wanted. And then the next thing you can do is you can go through here and you can add more placeholders. If you want to design background designs for each section of the card, like for the inside top, the inside bottom, or the back, you can definitely do that. What I'm going to do is just add a photo placeholder here, maybe just stretch it out to be the full entire section of the card there. So I've got that stretched out there, and then maybe on the inside bottom, that's the inside top, maybe on the inside bottom, we would add a text placeholder here, and just let the client or whoever is ordering this card write a nice little message there on the inside of the card. And then for the back, like I said, if you want to add more photo placeholders, you can do that. If you want to create background designs for each section of the card, you can definitely do that as well. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to go and go up here and click next. Because now that we've got all of those set up there, let me get this, make sure this looks right. That's gone. So all this looks good. So now we're going to go click next. And we're going to give this card a name. So I'm just going to say New Year's template. Or I'll just say New Year's card. And then for the design group, this is really important to remember what design group that you put this card in, because that's where it's going to show up when you actually go to add this to your price list. So we're going to go to design group, and we are going to add this to, we'll just say occasions, and let's see, is there a New Year's right here? Occasion, New Year, we're going to add that there. And then up at the top, we're just going to hit save. Now you can hit publish from there. Sometimes, occasionally, I've had that do some weird things, and so I've always found it was easier to click save there and then come right here and click publish to sell. So we're going to click publish to sell here, click OK, and then that's where we're going to now go and add this to our price list. So now we're going to go up to selling, click on price list, and then we can pick the price list that we want to add this to. So I'm just going to go to this demo price list right here, and we're going to add this to this demo price list. So once this loads, we're going to click the add products button. We're going to go to MPix, so we're going to go add products. And instead of showing all vendors, we remember that we created this under MPix. So I'm going to go all vendors, choose MPix, and then we're going to go here to greeting cards. And it was a 5x7 folded card, so we're going to go folded greeting cards. And then we're going to go find that 5x7 option here. So 5x7. And that's a set of 5. You can do a set of 10, a set of 15, a set of 20. You can add all these if you want. It just depends on what options you want to give your clients. But we're going to add that really quick. And then we need to edit the templates that are available. So once you add the card here, it's going to be under greeting cards. You need to come down here and expand all this, and you see where it says 16 design templates offered. I just want to offer the one design template that I created. So I'm going to go to edit templates, and instead of it being all available templates, we are going to go with selected templates right here. So it wasn't in Christmas, it wasn't in holiday, but it was in New Year, and there's that New Year card template right there. So we're going to select that one and hit select. Now you're going to see this change to say one design template offered, which is exactly what we want. So now let's go down here and let's put this card up top on QuickShop. So there we go. The card has been added up top on QuickShop, and we are just going to go to save and assign. And I'm going to assign this to a gallery really quick. So it's already been assigned to my clients group, 2018, 2017, all of these there. So it's good to go. So we're going to save it. So now let me show you what this looks like from a visitor's perspective. So now we're going to go back to photos, and we are going to click on clients right here. And let me just go and find a good gallery for this. So let me click on the Smith gallery here. And this would be a good one for this card here. So we're going to click on that. Then I'm just going to hover over preview and actually open this up in a new incognito window. The reason I'm using a new incognito window is because we want to see this from a client's perspective, and the best way to do that is to open it up in a browser that you're not logged into, and the new incognito window in Google Chrome allows you to do that. So here we are, we've got this here. So now let's say we want to go and we want to buy this image right here in the card. We're going to click buy. Depending on how you have your shop set up, it might load in a different way. So here's the greeting card right there. We're going to add that there. This is going to take us to the where we can choose our design. There's the design right there. We're going to hit continue. And now we need to add photos to this template here. So there's that card right there. We need to add photos. So we're going to click here. This is going to take us to where we can actually drop in the photos that we want. So I'm going to take this, and you can actually resize the image here, move it around if you want. Let me just bring that back a little bit. So I've got that photo Let me try to get a little better fit there. So we got that one right there and there. So now we need to add a photo at each one of these placeholders here. So let me just add this one, put it right there, and then maybe we'll add this one right here into that placeholder there. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time for the photos to load, depending on your internet especially, but now we've got those photos added there. And then if we wanted, remember some of the templates that we didn't add stuff to, so here's actually another photo placeholder right here, and we could add one more really large photo here like this. So there's that, and then this part right here is where we could add some text if we wanted to add some text. And it's going to be whatever preset you put in there. So, hey, Happy New Year. Save. Now, I didn't edit the text. I didn't set it to be center and all that stuff since I was just doing a quick demo of the card. You can definitely set the font that you want. You can set this text to be center. You can have it come up to the top. You can do all kinds of stuff with that text placeholder back where you create the template. I just did a really quick, threw it on there, so that's why it's kind of off-center and really not very good looking at all. But you could definitely do a lot better job than I did setting up this template. We didn't throw anything on the back, so this card is pretty much ready to go. So we've got that front right here with the template on it and the 3 images. And you can see how that worked with the placeholders behind the background design. And then all we would do from here is go add to cart. That's going to add that to the cart, and now our clients are ready to purchase that custom gift card. So anyway, guys, that's how you set up and create a custom holiday card using a background template and creating one in Photoshop. Let me get back to my dashboard here really quick and see what's going on with you guys in chat. Alright guys, that's how you create a card, and hopefully that was helpful. I wish I had got it out a little sooner. It would have been nice to have that before the holiday deadlines, but definitely if you guys have any questions about the process, please feel free to get those in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer those today here on the live stream. I do have some email questions I'm going to get to, so we're going to go ahead and jump into some email questions. Definitely say hi to us in the chat, let us know where you're from, and if you have any questions regarding Zenfolio, even if it's not related to today's topic, definitely please throw those there in the chat so we can get those answered for you today. So the first question I got here in the email says, what sort of sorting options do I have for my galleries? Can I sort by title? Yeah, absolutely. So Zenfolio actually lets you do quite a bit of sorting options. Let me go ahead and show you really quick. If you go to your photos right here, you can go in, and depending on what you're wanting to sort, you've got lots of different sorting options. This is my all photographs group right here, and you can sort by coming up here over by this and going right here, and you can see I've got it sorted manually, but if I wanted, I could sort this by date created. I can sort it by date modified. I can sort it by title. I can sort it to show the groups first if I wanted. So all the groups first and then any galleries or collections later. Oops, let me see this. Groups first right there and then by title. Or groups mixed. Just depends on what you want to show. And then you can switch right here as well. Now, you can sort your all photographs group, but you can also sort galleries, you can sort collections and things like that. So if I click down here and I go down in here to, let's see, let me find a client gallery really quick. Let me just go right here to clients. And I think these are all crazy. This thing right now this is just all craziness because I've been trying to do some organization and things like that. But let me click here. So if you click on a gallery, you can do some sorting on the gallery as well. So this one's been sorted manually, but you can come up here and you can sort by title. You can sort by, so let me sort by title really quick. You can sort it by title. You can sort it by upload order. So this is actually the order that the photos were uploaded. You can sort it by that as well. You can sort it by the date taken. So if you want to do, maybe if you shot a wedding and you kind of want to show it in the sequence that it happened, a good way to do that is to sort it by date taken, because that's going to take in your timestamp information from your camera. So if I click on this photo right here and I go to this info right here, you can actually see the date modified, the date uploaded, and things like that. And then it's also going to have the date taken, and all that information is there. And you can sort it by that. And then you can swap it from ascending to descending depending on what you want to look. And the important thing to remember, guys, is that the way that your galleries are ordered and sorted on the back end is how it will appear to your clients on the front side. So this gallery, whatever order it's in right now, if a client goes to visit this gallery, this portfolio gallery, that's how it's actually going to appear to my clients when they go in and they look at that gallery. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. But again, there are the sorting orders right up here. Now you can also change your here's the sorting orders. And you can also change your thumbnail size right here as well. So I've got my thumbnails pretty small, but if you want to make them a little bit bigger, you definitely can come in here and you can make these things a little bit bigger where it's easier to kind of see what photos you're looking at. Or if you need to look through these all really quickly, you can easily just bring that down and make them quite small to where you can quickly scroll through and see the majority of the photos that are in that gallery really easily by changing the thumbnail size. So I think you can do that on a group as well too. So on a group right here, as you can see in my all photographs, which is the main top level group, I can change the thumbnail size of this too as well. So if you've got tons of groups, tons of galleries and things like that, and you need to go through and quickly look at everything that's in your account, you can change that thumbnail size to be really small, or you can change it to be really large, just depending on whatever you need at the given time. And it's really easy to change it, so definitely don't feel like you have to set it to one setting and leave it. It's there for you to use to make navigating your account easier, and I definitely suggest taking advantage of all the tools that we have there to make that easier. All right, let me hop back to my dashboard really quick, and let me grab another email question. Guys, if you're watching the recorded version of this and you have a question that you'd like for me to answer next week, then definitely make sure to leave it in the comments below, and we will answer that question the following week. Would love to have you join us on the live stream every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But I understand we're all busy. There's a lot of times when people can't make it, and that's why I like the live stream, because it does the instant recording that's out there for people to watch if they need to catch up and get some of this information. If you're not subscribed to us in iTunes, guys, we are in iTunes as well. So just go to iTunes and do a quick search for Zenfolio video tutorials. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast there, because these live streams, as soon as we finish, I think it takes about 30 to 45 minutes. But the recorded version of that is instantly published to iTunes, and you instantly get the download to your phone, to your tablet, or wherever you're subscribed on iTunes. So definitely check that out. All right, let me grab another email question really quick. So my next question here says, how can I create an auto reply after somebody uses my contact form? So Zenfolio has a built-in contact form. And if you want to set up an auto reply so that somebody automatically gets an email from you as soon as they submit it saying, hey, thanks for contacting us, we'll be in touch soon. Just something to kind of acknowledge that you have received their email. You can set that up in triggered emails. So let me show you really quick. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to make a template. So we're going to go to communications and click on email communications, and that's going to take us to where we can create a custom template. So we're going to go down here to the bottom, and I've got a ton of these that I've already created, but let me just show you really quick how to create a new one on your own. We're going to click new template right here. And there's actually a really great video tutorial, guys. I think it's called, there's a tutorial series called Improving Your Client Communications that will actually walk you through the process of customizing system templates, creating your own email templates, and setting them up and things like that. So definitely check that out. It's here on the YouTube channel if you haven't yet, and it will show you how to make these custom templates and things like that. But we're going to create one for an automatic reply when somebody uses our contact page. So the template name, I'm just going to say auto reply. Let's see, auto reply for contact. So something really simple, Clients are never going to see this. Basically, I'm just putting this template name so I know why I created this template in the first place. And then in the subject line here, this is what your clients are going to see. So this is where you want to be a little strategic. Make sure that you put some good text in here. So I'm just going to put something like, hey, thanks for emailing me. Obviously, you could put something different, put something better. This is just example text. And in the body here, we're going to put, you know, whatever message you want to be auto-responded to your clients when they use your contact page. So I'm just going to say, hi. And then, thank you for contacting me. I will be in touch in 24 hours. And obviously, you could put a lot more information in here. You can make this a lot more personalized, a lot more friendly. I'm just giving you a quick example of something that you can do. And then once you do this, you're just going to go here and click Save. And now we have that custom template in here. Let me find it. Right here at the very top, auto reply for contact. So now the second part of this is going to be setting up a triggered email. So we're going to go up here to the top and we're going to click on triggered emails right here. And this is where we can set up these triggered emails. So you're going to scroll down and you are going to look for contact page. So it looks like I've already set one up, but let me go ahead and change this a little bit and customize it to be that template that I just created. So we're going to click the edit button right here. And for contact, we're going to choose an email template. I'm going to choose the auto reply for contact. And then we're going to decide how soon after the clients use that contact page do we want them to be emailed. For me, I want it to be almost instantaneously. I want an email to go right to them after they send it, letting them know, hey, thanks for contacting us, we'll be in touch. And so in that case, you want to leave this set to 0. Now you can add some more auto replies if you want. This is a really great way too if you're going to be out of town, if you're going to be on vacation, if you're not going to be checking your email and things like that. You could definitely create an email template for vacation, holidays, or whatever, and set it up on here so that when people are contacting you, you can instantly respond and let them know, hey, you know, I really appreciate you contacting me and checking out my website. I would love to talk to you. Unfortunately, I'm on vacation and I will get back to you as soon as I get back in town. And this is a really great way to set that up as well. But we've got this auto reply for contact template put on here, and we've got it set to be instant. So now we're just going to click this save and update button, and that's going to instantly reply to somebody as soon as they send us a contact through our built-in contact page. So that is important to remember. If you're using a custom contact page that you've built yourself, this will not apply. This is only for the built-in contact page. All right, let me hop back to my dashboard really quick here. And then let me grab another email question really quick here. So is it possible to show a video? I think I already answered that one last week. Let me jump down here to the very bottom here. Let me scroll down a little bit more. So let's see, the next question I have here says, how can clients order from multiple galleries for one package? So if you've got multiple different galleries and you have a package in your price list and your clients want to order photos from multiple different galleries, maybe you shoot sports and you've got several different galleries that have a specific team in there, and you have a client that wants to order and purchase a package, but they want to use photos from all of those different galleries. As long as those galleries have the same price list on them, then your client can go through and order those, order different photos from different galleries all on that same package, as long as it has the same price list. So let me just kind of show you really quick what I'm talking about. Let's go to photos really quick, and let's say this gallery right here, let me find one. So let's say my portfolio gallery here, let's say that these are client galleries, and this one is a game, and this one's another game, and things like that. As long as all of these galleries have the same price list, the client can order from those all in one order, and put photos from each gallery into a single package and place that all in one order without it getting split into different orders. It's only if the price list is different, if there's different labs involved and things like that, that can cause issues and things like that. So as long as it's the same price list, your client's going to be able to make those multiple orders all in a single package, and it doesn't have to be split up in a bunch of different orders. So that's the key, is just making sure that it's the same package here. All right, let me check on you guys in chat really quick. So let's see. I'm probably going to say this name wrong, so I do apologize. Shoaib, I'm not going to try the last name. I'm sorry. It says, hello, Zenfolio team. I want to know, how can I make photo agency type site using your platform? So I would love to help you out. I'm going to need a little bit of clarification on exactly what you're trying to accomplish through our platform, or what you mean by a photo agency type of site. So if you can give me some specific examples of things that you want to do with the site, how you want to use it and things like that, I'd be glad to answer that question. Also, definitely feel free to reach out to our support team at any time. You can reach out to the support team at zenfolio.com/contact, and they are happy to go into that as well. But just to answer that question on how you do a photo agency type site, I'm going to need to know just a little bit more about what your needs are, what you want to use the website for, and things like that, and how you would expect it to perform. That way I can give you some recommendations on how to set it up and things like that. All right, so let me see here. My next question here I have says, I just added a MailChimp pop-up on my homepage. Now my customized view is not loading and I cannot publish the changes. Help. So I actually had this happen to me one time, guys. I was trying to do a pop-up on my homepage using some custom code, and it was something to do with a code from MailChimp and an option that I had selected, but basically it did exactly what you're talking about. It kind of broke my website, and I could not really do anything. So what I had to do was I had to go in and I had to actually remove that custom code from my website. Now let me show you where I had the custom code in. I'm not sure where you have this custom code, so it's going to depend on where you put it in, but let me show you where I had the custom code put in there and how you can remove it. So what I'm going to do is just hover over my Zenfolio and go to customize website. And then this is going to load us here in customize view, and then there's several different areas that you can actually put custom code in. I'm not sure which one you're using, but I'll show you the one that I was using. I was actually using custom code in my footer, so let me get myself out of the way here. So my footer's right here. I'm going to go to site footer, and then there's an option right here that says show custom content. I had that selected to show, and then if I click content right here, you can actually go in here, click source, and paste in source code. And this is where I had that custom code put in for that MailChimp pop-up. And basically what happened was, anytime somebody visited my site, the pop-up popped up and we couldn't get it to go away, and nothing else would load and nothing would work. So I basically had to go in on the back end right here, go to footer, go to custom content, hit source right here, go to content, hit source, and then basically I had to delete all of that code, hit apply, and I was able to get my homepage back working the way it should be. So one of the things I do want to point out, guys, is why we do give you a place such as I was just showing you where you can use custom code. We cannot offer technical support on that custom code. So if you've got some code in there and it's not working right, it's causing your site to act funny or something like that, we're not able to offer any technical support, and chances are that we're probably just going to say, hey, you've got some custom code in here and I believe it's probably what's causing the issue. You'll need to remove that in order for your site to act the way that you should, the way that you're expecting it to act, because we can't offer any technical support on that custom code. It's from a third party most of the time, if not all the time, and we just don't have the resources to technically support that as far as why it's working or not. So I would say, you know, if you're gonna venture into using custom code, you definitely want to make sure that you have a little bit of an idea of what you're doing, if not a lot of an idea of what you're doing, and just be careful. And we will do our best, but again, you know, we can't offer any technical support on that. It's outside of Zenfolio, and there's not a lot we can do. Okay, so let me jump back to my dashboard here really quick. Let me just get back to the dashboard and check on you guys in chat here. So like Shutterstock, so you're wanting to do like stock photography. Basically, you're wanting to upload photos, let them be found, people search for them and things like that, and then sell rights and usage and things like that for them. Yeah, so this is really a complex setup. I'm going to run you through the steps really quick, just give you the short, quick version. Definitely reach out to the support team if you have any questions about what I'm showing you, because it's definitely going to be something going to take some setting up and things like that, but I'm going to kind of hit the bullet points of what you need to know to set that up. So the first thing is going to be making sure that you are keywording and prepping all your photos correctly for, you know, people to find them online and things like that. Now, I recommend doing this in whatever software that you normally do your post-processing in, such as Lightroom or something like that, or Lightroom or Photoshop, or you can do it in Adobe Bridge. Whatever software where it will let you keyword your photos, that's going to be important. And you need to go ahead and put that as part of your workflow when you're doing any post-processing. Now, you can keyword photos in Zenfolio, and I'll show you how. But trust me, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot faster on you if you include that as part of your workflow now. Now, if you're doing it in Lightroom, don't do what I did. I made the mistake of exporting in Lightroom without actually checking the option to make sure that the metadata was included. So that's really important that when you export those photos out of Lightroom or wherever, that any keywording that you did is going to be included in the photo so that when you upload it to Zenfolio, that information is there. Now, for photos that have been already uploaded to Zenfolio, you can go and add in keywords and things like that as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump in here really quick. I'm going to click on this gallery right here. And from the start, what you want to be thinking about is you want to be thinking about SEO. This is my portrait gallery. This could very well be a stock gallery if I wanted it to be. And I've included in the title of the gallery things that people might be searching for to find these specific type of images. So that's one thing that you need to think about when you're creating galleries for your stock photography business, is including in the title, you know, when you're grouping specific images together and things like that, thinking about the title that you're using there, that it's going to be searchable and things like that. Now, not only is the gallery title searchable, if you go over here to gallery details, there is a caption and there's keywords and there's categories. All of these things right here are going to be searchable on search engines and is going to help this page receive a higher ranking and things like that. So again, that's something else that you want to be thinking about, is, you know, including information in the gallery caption and things like that. So if this was maybe a locations gallery where I had urban locations or something like that, making sure that you're doing a good job of titling it, captioning it, keywording it, and then categorizing it. Now you can do that on the gallery level, but then you can also do all of that same stuff on the image level as well. Now, I haven't done it very well on this. Honestly, I don't even know where these titles came from. I think it was like, I have no idea, honestly, where these titles came from. But you can do it on the individual image as well. So if you click on the image right here, you can go to photo details. You can title it, caption it, add copyright, alt attribute, and then keywords, and also each of the images can be categorized and all of that stuff as well. Now, you want to be careful, and you don't want to do all of the images the same thing, because what that's going to result in is that's going to result in a page with a bunch of the same keywords repeated over and over again, and Google sees that as black hat SEO. So they see it as you try to keyword stuff. And so you want to be strategic. You know, maybe you give the first 4 photos the same keywords, categorizations, and things like that. But then maybe you move on down here and you give these different ones or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're mixing it up, that you're not making Google think that you're keyword stuffing anything. So that's the one thing you want to keep in mind. Now, after you've got all of that done, you want to make sure that all of this information is allowed to be searchable and indexable and things like that. So for the gallery, you're going to click on Gallery right here, and you're going to go to Gallery Access, and you want to make sure, one, that this is public, and then you're going to go to the Search and Metadata option right here. Make sure that it's allowed to be publicly searchable, include in all of these down here, allow display of the metadata information, all of that good stuff, so that it's got a lot of information there that's being put out to the search engines, and they understand what the page is about, and they're able to index it and things like that. So now after you've got that set up, you want to go and you want to set up your site to be searchable. So you're going to want to go up to My Zenfolio, go over to Customize Website, and then there's actually a built-in search page that you can set up to include in your site menu, but you can also include in your site header the option to search directly from the site header as well. So let me get into Customize Visitor View really quick. All right, so now that we're in Customize Visitor View, what we're going to do is I've got my site headers up here showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize that site header, first of all, to show the search function. So if I go right here to site header, you can set up and show that search bar right there. So I'm going to go to Elements, Search Field. I'm going to set it to show, and then you can show it collapsed or expanded if you want. Either way, it's going to work just fine. So I'm going to go down here and apply that. And now that is set up to be expanded or show the search bar up here. So there's that search bar. People can click on it and they can search the my website here based on keywords and things like that. Now the other thing you can do too is if you want, you can set up a search option here. So I'm just going to customize this really quick to be a search. So I'm going to hit search. And then I'm going to change this from being a group, gallery, or collection to being a built-in or custom page. And then there's actually a search page right here. So there's a search page. I'm going to hit update. This is going to refresh. And now that's going to change from purchase a mini session to being a search option. So there's the search option right there. And if I click on it, that's going to take me to the search page. And then we can do searches based on keywords and things like that. So I can do like portraits. Click search. And here's my portrait portfolio. And this is showing galleries. So this is showing the galleries that show up under portraits. But there's my portrait portfolio, Raleigh, North Carolina portraits. There's collections, there's a portrait collection, and then there's 92 photos that have the word portrait keyworded into this, and then there's 0 videos. Now you can control what shows up, what people are allowed to search, and things like that as well. So what I'm going to do is just customize this page really quick. So I'm going to hover over My Zenfolio, click Customize Website. Hey, and as I'm going along in this, if you have any questions, any comments, anything you want me to clarify, definitely please throw that in the chat so I can make sure to cover it. We've got about 10 to 15 more minutes left in the live stream. So if you've got any questions or anything like that, please get it in the chat so I can make sure to address that as I'm going along. But you can customize the search page. So I'm just going to customize the search page. We can go up to Options, Page Elements, and right here is what will allow you to really customize the search page. So if you only want people to search for photos, if you don't want them to come across galleries, or if you want to make it a really simple search where it's just photos that show up, they don't have to bother clicking through galleries and things like that, you can definitely hide galleries, hide collections, only let it be photos, and then you can hide the videos here as well. And let's hide that pagination. And let's go ahead and just change this up a little bit. So grid options, I'm going to set it to be grid A. And then for gallery thumbnails here, you've got a lot of different options here, but let's just go ahead and click apply and take a look and see what this search page looks like now that we've changed that up. So let me just click apply. I keep missing the apply button. All right, so now we've got this applied. Now you can see all those tabs that were there previously with galleries, collections, and things like that are gone. And now people can only search, and it's only going to show the photos. So now we can scroll down here, and all we're going to see are photos that in some way have come up with the keyword portrait. Now you guys are seeing some photos that your clients are not going to see. If you notice, this photo right here has that little red lock icon indicating that it's been set to private. Well, if it's been set to private, why am I seeing it now? The reason I'm seeing it now is because I'm logged into the account as the photographer. So as the photographer, I have access to see everything, even if it's set to private or password protected. So that's why I'm seeing all of this now. So now that we've done this customizing, if we publish this, we can actually go and test this out as a visitor and see what a true visitor would see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this URL. Let me go back to my homepage really quick. We're going to copy that homepage URL up here at the top. And then in Google Chrome, I'm a big Google Chrome user. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, New Incognito Window, and that's going to let me test this out as a visitor. And this is definitely a good practice that I would suggest anybody uses after you've created a new gallery. If you want to test out new things as a client, definitely make sure that you are testing it out as a visitor would. So again, File, and then I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can't get it down here where you can see it, but it's File and New Incognito Window, and that's going to create this new window right here like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste in my homepage URL, and now we're actually going to view it like we were logged out of the account. So if I go to the search page right here, search, and we do portraits, those images that were set to private should no longer be showing up. And then you'll notice the ones that are set to password protected are showing up, but we can't actually see them. And if I clicked on it, I would have to enter whatever that gallery's password was to actually see it. So, and you can, if you have a gallery set to password, you can set the option for it not to show up in search. So let me see what this is that's showing up here. And we can, so that is this engagement photographer right here. So let me go back to my account really quick. I'm just going to go hit welcome, and we can go and set that not to show up in search if we wanted. And then the password protected galleries would not show up in search either. So we go to photos, and whatever gallery it was, I think it was this one right here, you can click on it, and you can go to gallery access, search and metadata, and you can say do not allow searching in photos in any search results, and then this photo or this gallery and the photos inside of it would not show up in any of the search results at all. So that's how you can control that. So let me go back here really quick. So for the ones that are allowed to show up in the search results, here they are right here, and if we click on these, you're going to see what it's going to do is it's going to load that gallery into the photo page. Now, if you have a price list assigned to this gallery, it's going to load it to the quick shop page where people can actually purchase this photo. So now that's going to be kind of the next step, is setting up things to be purchased, whether it's going to be downloads and things like that. So let's talk about that really quick. So I'm just going to close this out. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to selling right here, and we're just going to quickly create a price list for our stock photography business, whatever that may be. So we're going to go to price list, and we're going to start off with a blank option right here. So add blank price list. I'm going to call this stock photos. And then we're just going to go add products, and let's say all we want to sell on our stock photography site is digital downloads. We would go here, choose our studio name, choose downloads, and then we've got the download options that we've created. Now, I created these so I know right off the bat that none of these are going to work for stock photography, because when I created these digital download products, I created them for personal use only, and I didn't do any commercial use or things like that. So we need to make sure that we're going to have the right digital download products if we're selling these as stock photographs for people to use in advertising, or, you know, to edit, or whatever the purpose might be. We need to make sure that we have the right digital product created. So what I'm going to do really quick is try to do this in the same amount of time. I'm going to just save this price list. It's empty right now, but we're going to go and create just a single digital download that's designed for commercial use so that we can add it to the price list and assign it to our stock photo galleries. So we're going to go to selling one more time, and then we're going to click on digital products, and then I'm going to click add product right here. And for this title, I'm just going to call this single image download. Now, Zenfolio has some built-in licenses that you can use, and we definitely have some commercial use licenses, but if you have one that you want to use, you can upload and use your own license as well. So what I'm going to do is go to licenses right here, and we're going to say royalty-free commercial use license. Now, if you have something that you want to use, you can definitely upload your own, and I'll show you where to do that in just a second. But we've got that royalty-free commercial use license there. I'm going to leave this set to original photo. That way they can download the photo that I uploaded, and then leave the category to downloads. Now, the most important part is that you leave the minimum number and maximum number both set to 1. That means that people have to pay per photo that they want to download. So then we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to click save. So now you're going to notice that I can't save this because I've already used this product name. So I'm going to change this just a little bit to be single, maybe we'll just do single photo download. So let's try that and see. There we go. So now I'm able to save it. So here it is right here. Single photo download, royalty-free commercial use. It's not on any price list yet, so I'm going to go and add it to a price list. Now, if you want to add your own license, you can click on license right here, and you want to do this before you create your digital products. Click on license. You can scroll down here, and you can say add a new license, and then you just basically put it in your license text, whatever that is, and save it. And then it will become an option that you can choose in that license section when you're creating your digital products. But for now, we're just going to use the built-in licenses, and I've already got that product created. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to selling, click on price list, and we're going to go to our stock photo price list, which is right here. And we're just going to add that single digital product to this price list. So once this loads here, we're going to click add product. And we're going to add the single digital license here, and then we're going to customize the gallery so it uses a specific shopping setup. So I'm going to go to add products, downloads, single photo download, and we know that that's the one with the commercial license, but if we want to know more, we can click right there, more info, and it tells us royalty-free commercial use. You can see the full license text if you want to see it there. So we're going to add that, add selected products, and now we're just going to give this a price. So I'm going to price this at $300. Obviously, it's going to have a commercial use. We're not going to get any royalties from it, so I'm going to price this one pretty high because we're only going to be paid for it basically the one time when somebody purchases it to download, and we're not getting any royalties or anything like that. Definitely research the market and understand and know how you should price your own work in the area that you're working in and the field that you're working in and things like that. This is not a price suggestion. I'm just basically putting a number in there. But so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to down here to the quick shop section, and I'm just going to make sure that this is added over here and up at the top, and then I'm going to click save. So now we're going to go back to our gallery. So I'm going to go back to photos, and we are going to go to Raleigh Portrait Photographer right here, just pretending that this is a stock photography gallery, and we are going to add this price list on this. We're going to go to pricing, allow ordering from my price list, stock photos right there, and then we are going to save this. So now the last thing I want to do before making this live is make sure that I customize the setup of this gallery so that it appears the way that I want it to appear to my clients. So I'm going to hover over preview and click customize and make sure that this is set up to only use the quick shop option, and I'll show you why in just a second. So from here, basically what I want is I just want this to be a thumbnail view. So I'm going to make sure that when I go to options, I'm going to uncheck use default page elements. I'm going to really simplify this quite a bit. I'm going to hide all of these as much as I can. Hide all of this stuff here. Well, actually, we can leave the Facebook and all of that stuff, and maybe even the share button as well. The rest of that stuff I'm going to hide, but I'm going to go to shopping setup, and I'm going to set it to use quick shop only, because this is the way that I want this gallery to work. So when clients come in and they visit this gallery, what I want to happen is if they're getting to it from the search feature, however they're getting to this gallery, when they click on it, I want it to open up to this page right here, where they can easily purchase this as a download right over here just by clicking that. Now, unfortunately, that is all the time we're going to have for today, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Let me hop back to my dashboard really quick. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. We put out new video tutorials every week on Wednesday, and then we do the live Q&A every Thursday. I hope I'm going to say your name right. Shoaib, it's always great having new people here. Great question. We don't get a lot of stock photography questions, so I do appreciate that. It was really great to be able to go into that side of things. Home phone, always good having you here hanging out with us. And then everybody else who's watching, thanks again for coming and joining us on the live stream. And I will see you guys all next Thursday, same time, same place. And until then, make sure that you all have a great and wonderful weekend.